Hello there, thank you very much for joining me today. So I'm going to be out doing some metal detecting in this huge stubble field. I've got my trusty XP Deus 2 metal detector here, but I'm also really excited because I'm going to be trying out the new application released by XP Metal Detectors called Go Terrain. Go Terrain is available on your smartphone or smart device, and it is really a one-stop shop companion for when you're out in the field metal detecting. With Go Terrain, you are going to be able to log all of your individual finds as you go live in the field, and you're also going to be able to track your route. You're going to be able to see exactly where you've been, and you're also going to be able to see if you've missed any particular areas in the field that you thought that you might have done. Now, although I'm going to be using my XP Deus 2 metal detector today, you don't necessarily have to be an XP user in order to be able to use this application. There are some very key unique benefits to owning an XP machine, and that is you can link your coil, which is then linked to your RC unit, which then talks to the application via Bluetooth. That means that when you go over a target in the field, and the normal target identification number usually pops up on the RC, but it could also pop up on your WS4 or WS6 master puck as well, you're going to get that live data straight through onto your mobile device. That means there's going to be very minimal human intervention, and all you really need to do is just go onto the application, and if you think it's a worthy enough find, you can add some information about it. Maybe even take a quick picture, a small video, and maybe even record a little voice note in there as well. If you're a premium member, you're also going to be able to save all of that data to an encrypted cloud server. And that's going to be really handy, just in case you ever upgrade your phone or you might have lost your phone. You don't have to worry, you just need to log back into the application with your unique credentials, and all of that data is just going to come straight back onto your phone. Now that's a pretty good feature. But there are some other amazing features with the premium membership as well, and one of those is group activities. This is where you're going to geolocate all of your friends out in the field using live data coming straight through to your smart device. Now it does this by of course using the GPS chip inside everybody's mobile device. So it's not even really using the internet, and as long as you've got a relatively good signal via GPS where you are in the field, it's going to be pretty accurate down to a few meters. Now come along and join me today while we do some metal detecting, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about how the app works, and more importantly how easy it is to use and how it's going to benefit you while you go out on your hunts as well. Let's go. So we're almost ready to go and do some metal detecting today, but there's just going to be a couple of little things you need to make sure that you've set up correctly before you start heading out on your journey. The very first thing, of course, is you're going to want to make sure that the app's open and running on your phone. It's important that if you're using an XP machine that you've got your Bluetooth turned on, and of course you've paired it to the coil as well. Then all you need to do is just go onto your remote, hit the options tab here on the left hand side, and navigate down to where it says settings. Now in the settings menu, you'll then find Go Terrain. There's two options in Go Terrain. You can either use auto or you can use push. Now auto is going to be a great feature if you are using an XP Deus, an ORX, WS4 or WS6 master, because that's going to enable you to connect it with the Bluetooth to your smartphone and get all the live data coming through. But if you're not using an XP machine and you prefer a different brand, then don't worry, because we've got you covered. You're just going to have to go onto your smartphone and log every find that comes up. It's really simple to do. You just have to go down to the bottom bar here, hit add target, and you can save some nice information in there. You can even log the target identification number that comes up, and of course take a picture of it and then save that target into your route. And another thing you'll want to do if you're using an XP machine is just make sure that you are paired with your coil. That's really simple to do. All you need to do is go along the very top global menu bar here and click on the green Deus ORX icon. Once you've done that, all you need to do is search for your coil. Make sure your XP machine's turned on. Now once you're connected, you'll be able to tag which coil that you want to be connected to, and that will bring up some more settings. You can select whether you want target ID display or whether you want ferrous items display, and you can actually customize the amount of sweeps per second until your machine comes through and logs it on your device. So we've got a ferrous target down here, and it's obviously not something that we're going to want to take a picture of or log it into our finds, but let's see what comes up on the application when we swing over it. There we go. So I've just got the notification come through straight away. It's showing me that my target ID is 2, which is very clearly a ferrous item, and it's put a nice little black marker on the map just so that I know there's a ferrous target down here, and I'll be able to reference that in the future. Looks like we've got our very first diggable target down here. So we've now gone over it by 8 sweeps, and that's going to have logged it in the application. But let's see what we've got. Well, look at that. Looks like we've just gone and found a really nice little decorative buckle fragment here. Looks like it's probably dating to around the Georgian era, something like that. But I think this is going to be worth us logging it into our Go Terrain app today. So let's go ahead and do that now. So because we're using auto mode today with our XPDS2, all we have to do is go down the bottom here and click Add Target. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this one Buckle Fragment. And that means it's going to be easily identifiable later on in our finds gallery. Now, I'm not going to worry about giving this one a custom icon, but what I am going to do is just add a couple of details about it. I'm going to put that the target ID was 71, and I'm also just going to put here that I think it's possibly a Georgian fragment. Now all that's left to do is just take a nice little picture of this buckle in situ on the ground, so let's do that. And there we are. That buckle fragment is all saved into the Go Terrain app now. And of course that means that I'm always going to be able to see exactly where I found it in this field. And of course I'm going to be able to see some of the details that I've attached to it and that lovely picture as well. So you might be wondering if you can use the Go Terrain app if you use the WS4 or WS6 Master. Well, the answer is yes, absolutely. And there are some really good added extra features for you if you do use one of those machines. One being, of course, if you use the puck and it's not attached to your stem and it's actually on your headphones, then you're not going to be able to see all of the target identification numbers that pop up. However, if you're connected to your application via Bluetooth and you've got your auto mode turned on your puck, then you're actually going to be able to see every target identification number that you go over live on your mobile phone screen. That means you're going to have the best of both worlds. You're going to be able to have the puck still attached to your headphones, and you're also going to be able to see all of those live target identification numbers come through. Now that again is another really good feature. So one of the other benefits of Go Terrain is something called detection zones. Detection zones you have to set up before you start your activity, but it can be a very powerful tool out in the field, and that's because if there's a specific area in the field that you want to concentrate on, maybe there was once a building there, maybe even a small settlement, then what you can do is actually draw a little grid around that particular area, and that means every time that you wander out of it, Go Terrain is going to send you a little notification just to let you know. So remember, to set up your detection zone, you just need to make sure that you do this before you start your activity. Now you need to go down to the bottom taskbar and hit that cog icon, and that's going to bring up all the customizable features that you can do before you start your activity. Here you can clearly see draw detection zone, and it's going to take me to the specific point in the field to where I am. Now let's imagine we want to draw a detection zone around this particular feature in the field. Well, we can do that simply by drawing 4 points of our square, and that's now set our detection zone. And if we go back here, we can see that we've got show detection zone on, and we've got vibration alerts on as well. So that means that when we go back to the map, we're going to be able to clearly see our detection zone, and again, it's going to notify us whenever we wander out of it. So we've got a really nice little target down here. It's coming up between 83 to 84. Now, I've done something slightly different on this one. I've gone into the remote control on the XPDS2 and I've changed the go terrain settings from auto to push. Push is of course going to be really handy if you're not using an XP machine, but it also can be quite a powerful tool if you are. As opposed to auto, which will log every single target that you go over 8 sweeps in 10 seconds, if you use push, you're still going to be connected via the Bluetooth into the RC, but it means that it's giving you the option to decide which targets you want to record. And it's really simple to do that. All you need to do is go onto the RC and hold down the middle menu button. And then when you go over the target, it will then pop up onto the app and give you the option to log it in. So let's try that now. There you go, it's come up as 83 on the app straight away. And as I say, the only real difference there is that I've decided that I want to record that target identification number, and that's going to be pretty handy in case you are ever on a site that's quite heavily infested with targets and you don't want to just be recording absolutely everything. Well, push will give you the option to decide which targets that you want to record on your route. So we're going to go ahead now and save this activity into the Go Terrain app. There's a couple of ways for you to do this. You can either pause the activity, or of course you can stop the activity. When you push stop, it's going to ask you to save all of the details of that activity in, and it will actually finish it and return you back to the home page, which is the map. Or of course, you can pause the activity. There's a reason why you might want to pause the activity instead of stopping it, and that is because if you're out in a field where you've got very poor mobile data, it's going to be a lot more challenging for it to send all of that data to the encrypted cloud server. In that instance, I would recommend that you just hit pause, stick it in your pocket, and then when you get back home and you're connected to a much more stable and faster Wi-Fi network, just recontinue that activity and then hit stop and save it. It just means that the whole process is going to go on there a lot faster, and of course it means that you're going to be using slightly less of your mobile data as well. Now, don't forget, once you have stopped your activity, it is possible for you to actually restart that activity as well. That's going to be absolutely brilliant in case you ever return to this field and you want to continue exactly where you left off. All you need to do is go into your saved activities, open up this particular activity, and at the very bottom a box will appear which says continue activity. It's a really great feature. It does mean that you can return to the same field and just make sure that you cover all of the particular areas. So I hope that's given you a slightly better understanding about Go Terrain and all of the features and benefits that come while using the application. Don't forget, it's now available to download, so if you're using an iPhone, you just need to go onto the Apple App Store, and of course if you're using an Android phone, you just need to head over to the Google Play Store. There's only one application available regardless of what type of machine that you're using, and of course it's completely free for you to download and try. So go and grab your copy now and give it a go. I'm pretty sure you're going to be just as impressed with it as I am. But again, thank you all very much for watching, and I will catch you all next time.
Go Terrain, available worldwide. Download now.